First day of September. Can't believe that. Uh, Summer is over. State fair is over. I think last day today. And we are getting ready for fall. Beautiful. Best season in Minnesota. And today I want to rant about something really just summarize how the world had become and how the crooks and political prostitutions are in the front now, making decisions and having press conferences and televisions explain to us how the world works. You know, this guy is Trump's envoy to Lebanon. Try to discuss post Hezbollah Lebanon, and they want to disarm everybody and they arm Israel to the teeth, but they want to disarm everybody around it. Just to survive this pariah state, everybody else has to normalize or disarmed. Be nice. Have peace with Israel and war on his own peoples. And that's what the Arab world is. Arab Zionists want to have peace with Israel, but war with their own people. But anyway, this guy's name is Tom Barrack, not Barack Obama. Has nothing to do with him, not related, but he was, the ambassador to Turkey. He was a special envoy to Syria. Just they send them to the Arab world to ask him to surrender. That's just his job. He's from Lebanese descent. Those uh, convert when they come to America, of course, and he gets into the system and he adapt the racist white Western narrative. And this guy was sent to Lebanon, and there was a press conference in a presidential palace. Lebanon, it's not even a country, it's just a political tribal sect and sectarians divided by the French and made up country. They give this and that, and the president has to be Christian, and prime minister has to be a Sunni Muslim, and defense has to be whatever Druze, but all of them have to be Zionist. Doesn't matter. But anyway, there was a press conference with a bunch of Lebanese journalists, and of course there was chaotic. There's a chaotic everywhere in Lebanon, and people are shouting, asking questions at the same time. They're not used to this, and the West, you have a model, and everybody has to follow. And this, your time is up, Mr. President. We have a presidential debate. We're gonna discuss the world and most complicated issue. You have 5 minutes. You have 3 minutes. Your time is up. Doesn't matter if he's making a point or not, or he's making sense. Your time is up. Didn't give me time. I have to follow up. Now, up to what you return. This model has to be applied on everything else and places that they really time is not is of essence, and people have tradition and how they converse and how they, hierarchical conversation is not time. It's just The important thing is what you make. Are you making any sense? People will listen. If you're not making, they shout and throw rocks on you. We used to go to a theater or a play, and people don't like what the performance, and they found out that the people are not making any sense. They're cheaters. They just start shouting or throwing, we're sitting on the ground. We just make a ball out of straws and just paper and start throwing on the stage. We protest. That's just how we. But this guy wants to set the rules, and he start asking people to be quiet, and he's telling the journalists we are going to have a different set of rules. Please be quiet for a moment. And I want to tell you something. The moment this starts becoming chaotic, like animalistic, he actually said that, we are gone. This guy threatening journalists that they're going to come here for a conference about future of Lebanon. It's coming from a country that held genocide in Gaza, provided weapon and lies and political coverage to a Zionist state for almost over 2 years now. He's asking journalists that they are coming and eager to ask questions, to be civilized and don't act like animals. The war criminal representative envoy wants journalists to act civilized. And I know Western media ignore this and it's like nothing happened, but this really uh, have prompted a backlash in Lebanon, an outrage from the Arab world and social media. And journalist association called on Lebanon and Arab media to boycott this guy. This guy looks like a mafia. He looks like a hitman. And he's asking the journalists to act civilized and stop acting like animals. This guy asking Lebanese journalists to be civilized while, the Israelis killed, people say, 270 journalists, maybe more, in Gaza. I never heard from this guy. And he's asking the Lebanese journalists to be civilized. Of course, a civilized Arab journalist for this idiot is a dead one. So, what should Arab journalists do when a Western comes to town? Well, let's check with the Iraqi Arab journalist, Muntadar Izedi. You all know this guy, the guy in 2008 when President Bush the second, he was making a victory lap, last trip because he was about to leave when Obama will take over. He had a press conference also with the president, uh, Prime Minister of Iraq, Nouri al-Maliki, the same thing. The press conference in the palace in Baghdad, same thing. Uh, that Barrack, the Lebanese American envoy to Lebanon in a presidential palace. Arab, they love presidential palaces. The whole country is collapsing, destroyed, but they have presidential palaces. The Sisi of Egypt, the country bankrupts, 80% of people under 60 to 80% of people under poverty line have eight, nine presidential palaces. So Bush was coming to town. after the destruction and invasion of Iraq and Mission Impossible. And this Iraqi journalist, I interviewed him, and you all remember when he threw the shoes at Bush, two of them, pair of shoes, first one, and told him, "Here is your goodbye kiss, you dog," of course in Arabic. خد بوسة مني دي يا كلب. And we all saw these videos. Millions of people saw it when Bush ducked twice. And Prime Minister of Iraq uh, was trying to protect Bush, by deflecting the shoe. It's a bizarre. So here is a model of how the Arab journalist should really act with a racist Western idiot that comes to town to tell them to act civilized. So I talked to Mr. Al-Zaidi, the Iraqi journalist. I zoomed with him, and now he, after this show incident, of course he was arrested, put in jail later on, but he was a hero, celebrity status. And the shoe manufacturers claimed his shoe was made, they made shoes for him. And they made a statue of that shoe, the size, the looks. He got marriage proposal, books, films, offer, TV series. And I asked him, how do you guys prepare for a press conference like this? And how do you prepare for this show throwing press conference? Uh, and Mr. Al-Zaidi explained. He'd been chasing President Bush victory lap all over the places, and once he heard that Bush is coming to town in Iraq, December 14th, 2008, of course, Bush went there, Mission Impossible. He thought the people gonna greet him with roses, and that is how that people have no idea. People in the West have no idea how the Arab think or feel or whatever. You have all the Western leaders supporting genocide. Their people are protesting genocide, and their leaders and political leaders are supporting genocide. And they have democracy. These people were elected, official were elected, and they supported genocide, starvation of 2 million people. But their people are protesting. In the Arab world, is different. You see, this Arab Zionists have lived thinking of condemning the genocide or condemning the attacks by Israelis and journalists and civilians and women and children, but they will not allow any protest from their own people. Anyway, so I asked, the Iraqi journalists, how you prepare for this. It's not, just was it the spirit of the moment? Just throw the show at Bush, or was just prepare for it? You know what you're gonna do because you could get killed. But he said I had just bought a new shoes from Lebanon, but I wore. But he said I'm gonna wear an old shoe that I got it from Egypt long time ago, because old shoe, when you throw an old shoe at somebody, it's not just humiliating. It's just a shoe, just an old shoe, not a new one. And he said Bush should get the old shoe instead. And he had a plan. He prepared for this wedding and waited for the groom, Bush. He must. It's like a wedding, and here is a groom coming. Kept his plan secret. No one knew what he was up to, and he wrote his will in case he died. And he wore comfort clothes and casual jacket, And the Egyptian comfort old shoes, the shoes that brought it from Egypt. I have no idea what happened to the original shoe. All pictures of the shoe are fake. All have shoelaces. Mine has none. Even the one that was made by orphanage to his honor in a city of Tikrit, uh, uh, Prime Minister Admalik took it down after a few days. In the symbol of humiliating a Western leader, the Prime Minister of Iraq couldn't even handle that. So all the story about the shoe and Hovland media, that was not the real. It was made up stories. It's not the right shoes, the right size, the right. He said, uh, uh, that mythical shoes. Uh, Nobody got it right in the middle. And people, Bush said jokingly, how be this a childlike smile and reading from Cheney text because the shoe, he said that the shoe thrown at him was a size 10, like 45 in European size. And the Iraqi journalist, had said, that's liar too. That's not my shoe size. So I asked him, what size is it? It is Bush's size. I didn't know what he meant by that. I said, what do you mean? He said, what is Bush numbers? What's prudential lineup? Bush was the 43rd president. That's my size. That's the size of the shoe. So all remember the size of the shoe of the Iraqi journalist that is thrown at Bush when Bush was visiting Iraq was a size 43. It's very important to know the size of the shoe that's throwing on the most powerful man on earth. I asked him why a journalist threw a shoe at Bush instead of throwing a question as a journalist. They warn us all from asking questions, but they ask us to act civilized, Mr. Zaidi said. I'll end it right there. It's all the rant I'm going to say today. Subscribe, support, feedback. Come to our film documentary. It's going to be my film I finished after 15 years documentary. And there's going to be a screening at Arab Film Festival this month, 25th, San Anthony, Maine, and Minneapolis. So hopefully we'll see you there.